Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another week of your Arkansas football recruiting report with Otis Kirk. And Otis, last night, that game was a game for the ages against Missouri State, and everybody was talking about that punt return that he got back, and then the shovel pass, and I call the Patrick Mahomes pass that went to Rocket Sanders for 73-plus yards. That game was insane. It also gets you ready for your recruiting classes coming in. We're going to jump straight into that recruiting class of 2023. Vyson Lang, offensive lineman, who was also a huge part in the game last night. Talk about Vyson Lang coming to the 2023 class next year.
Yeah, he's going to visit for the Alabama game officially. I think his official visit, CJ. He'll be at Tennessee this weekend. He's got about 25 offers somewhere in there. Yeah. You kind of lose count. He's got around 25 offers. He's a 4-star with rivals, 3-star with most of the others, like the other recruits. He is a 4-star with rivals. I feel good about Arkansas's chances of getting Vyson. I felt like for a while it came down to Arkansas and Tennessee, and that looks like that's what it's doing. But I still feel really good about Cody Kennedy adding him into the class of 2023 Arkansas. They haven't had a commitment in a while since the Dozier kid from Alabama, I believe, was the last one, the wide receiver. For a while, it's more like 2024 now. But Vyson would be a nice little finishing touch to the offensive line. And I say finishing touch doesn't mean they won't add another one somewhere down the road. You never know. With the transfer portal, you never know. You can never say they're finished at any position. CJ, you know that. So but I think, barring something unforeseen, Vyson will be the last high school kid to jump on board if he does on the offensive line. Let me clarify that on the offensive line.
All right. Well, let's move things to let's stay on the offense and let's just move things to probably the most important guy on the field. That's the quarterback. But we got some sad news coming today. It's Malachi Singleton, who did commit to the University of Arkansas not too long ago. He has a broken foot. You talk about that injury?
Yeah. It's been a week or two since a couple of weeks since that happened, but I was out, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Right. I just wanted to say, man, that's a bad deal for that kid. He played with a hurt foot, and it kept hurting, and so they got an MRI, and it was broken. They did surgery. He may be back in 2 months or something, if they make the playoffs and everything. And, it's just a tough break for him. But the good thing is it's not something that should affect him at Arkansas. They're really counting on Malachi, who was a big-time quarterback, to be a part of this class. I talked to Jaden Ham when I went up to Eudora, Kansas, and I talked to Micah Tees at Tulsa Union before I got sick, and both them kids said they felt like Malachi was the perfect quarterback for Arkansas. Jaden Ham was hanging out with Luke Hodge, and Jaden was shot at quite a bit when he was down here at the April 16th scrimmage. But and Howard Schauder was a 5-star quarterback. But he said for what Arkansas does, he thinks Malachi is the best quarterback out there. And I agree. That's what I've said all along. I think Malachi is excellent for what Arkansas does. And I think they were very fortunate to get him. Hopefully this injury is just a small bump in the road, CJ. Small bump in the road, and he's back and finishes up, maybe wins him the state championship, then comes to Arkansas and helps them, keep going what KJ and those guys have got going now.
Yeah, you hate to hear an injury like that with the quarterback and Malachi Singleton. I hope he gets better as well. And, it's a swift recovery coming back. And I look forward to seeing him play, hopefully, in the playoffs, man.
Yeah. He was a kid that if he hadn't gotten hurt, if I was going to the Auburn game, I looked it up. North Cobb is Kennesaw North Cobb. It's 2 hours from Auburn campus. Right. I was actually going to try to go see him play if he was at home or if he was somewhere close, reasonably close to Auburn. But obviously that's not going to happen now. So, but I wish him speedy recovery. Great kid, great quarterback. By the way, he'll be here for the Alabama game, CJ.
Okay. He's still going to
be here for the Alabama game, as well 99% of the population in the United States is considering Arkansas. I think we can just go and sit here and name recruits coming for the Alabama game, Yeah, the only official visit, though, is Vyson Lang right now. That's the official visit. The rest of these kids are unofficial. And like I said, just about every kid we're going to talk about or have talked about on this show will be at that game. That's going to be a huge – if Arkansas can beat A&M this week and go into that game 4-0, Man, that is going to be one crazy atmosphere.
That is going to be huge. To come back and play against the Crimson Tide in Fayetteville on the hill. Oh,
well,
my goodness.
Can I say something real quick
Go
on
ahead.
this? See, I really think that was a trap game last night. I know Sam said they didn't overlook Missouri State. Maybe they didn't overlook them, but look, you beat Cincinnati, who was nationally ranked Final Four team.
Right.
You beat South Carolina to open the SEC. You've got A&M. You've got A&M this week. You've got Alabama next week, and that's not even counting Mississippi State. BYU. How could you not have a game that's sitting in the middle? Bobby Petrino was set up perfectly with that. That you do not want to have a trap game and face Bobby Petrino. It was a trap game. I don't know if they overlooked them. I didn't think they came out focused. Say what you want. I mean, Sam knows the team, but I'm just saying that was a trap game, and Arkansas handled. They won the game. That's all that mattered. But I really feel when you look at who they played and who they've got to play immediately in September, that was a game that's ever going to be a game set up for them to kind of sleepwalk for a while. That was it. Whatever the reason, whether they overlooked them, not focused, or just well, and I know Missouri State had a great game. Bobby Petrino is one of the best coaches to coach.
Oh, he is, and the offense that he was displaying yesterday with Shelley back there, I promise it was a tough pickle to get because those guys were going in the first three quarters, and we just turned it on in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, that team and Bobby Petrino's offense and the play calling that he was doing, very, very successful. And I agree with you. You always have those trap games in between. You know, you got Texas A&M and Jerry World, and you come back home and play the Crimson Tide. It's tough when you got that game right there in the middle, but they came out and came out on top, man.
They handled it well. They handled it. They won, so you could say they handled it well because it would have been easy to lose it. I mean, Oklahoma State only beat that team by 7 points last year. I'm telling you, Bobby Petrino knows what he's doing. So does Sam Pittman, and that was a lot of coaches would have lost that game last night. And Sam, his staff and team found a way to win. I don't act like Sam scored a touchdown because Sam and I are past our touchdown scoring days. I think we scored our last touchdown, but no, Sam got that team going, and that was a great comeback.
They definitely didn't seem like an FCS team. They definitely seemed like an FBS team last night. So I agree with that 100%. Let's get in that class of 24 Arkansas Razorback squad. Talk about that class of 2024. I'm pretty sure a lot of people, like you said already, going to be at that Alabama game, probably some games in the future. But talk about this class of 2024 next year.
Braylon Russell from Benton is committed. He's the 4-star running back who is committed. Very good running back, 6'2", 230. I mean, this kid is a stud. You've got T.J. Lindsey from Bryant and Charlie Collins, who we had on here last week from Little Rock Mills. Those are 2 defensive linemen. Both those kids have double-digit offers, just big-time defensive linemen. Their stats are unreal. Collins is really unreal. I mean, that kid is just he's got 12 tackles for losses. And I don't even know what he did Friday night, but in 3 games, he had 31 tackles, 12 tackles for losses, 3 sacks, and an interception from a defensive tackle. But Walker White is a quarterback from Little Rock Christian. He's had a brother or 2 play at Arkansas, and dad played golf at Arkansas. And then Brian Huff is a linebacker from Valley View that doesn't get the publicity that the others do. It's kind of a shame because I'm telling you, Brian Huff is 6'2", about 230 linebacker, and he's got some really good stats too. Got offers to Arkansas State, Memphis, and Missouri. Missouri offered him this past a week ago. Those are all great players, CJ. That's 5 players from inside the state, and those are all really good players. Arkansas, if they can keep those 5 kids at home, and obviously sprinkle in a kid from out of state and maybe some more Arkansas kids. There's still camps and season where they'll still evaluate several in-state kids. But boy, I tell you what, those are 5 studs right there. I mean, and I mean, if Arkansas can keep them at home, they've really done something.
Always good to keep those hometown kids home and keep them in Arkansas. I think Sam
when they're
does
that
a great
talented,
job keeping those guys here.
When they're that talented, yes. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to butt it.
No, you're fine. You got 5 of them, like you said, that good. I mean, hey, you might as well try to go after and get them and keep them here.
And they're close too. That's one thing about this group. These kids are all very close. Right. They, of course, Mills and Bryant and Bull Rock Christian and Benton are all right there together, not very far apart. Now, Valley View is up by, people ask where Valley View's at. It's by Jonesboro. Actually, when I was at the Mina Star back in the 90s, I covered a state volleyball tournament at Valley View. So I've been to Valley View, so I know where it is. But yeah, I'm a big Brian Huff fan, and I think he's a great kid. Sorry, I had an interview with him. He and TJ Linsky both Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. And either my recorder didn't work or the phone didn't work. But they had them on there, but you couldn't hear them. And something messed up. I thought it was my recorder. I'm thinking it may be in my phone, but I've got to get that straightened out. But whatever. Those are good kids. They took time to interview with me, and I'm sorry the interviews didn't get to publish.
Yeah. All right, man. Look, we got one more thing to get to. That's a two-way lineman, and we're going to stay in the state of Arkansas. Of course, this guy's going to be coming to, again, another Alabama game, just like everybody else. But he's a two-way lineman. Braden King's in a different class. We talked about 2023, talked about 2024, but this guy's 2025 kid. Talk about Braden King for a minute, Otis.
We keep talking. We may get some kid in about 2040 years. CJ ain't been born yet, man. We may get him. We may get some kids not been born yet, so I better stop at 2025. Braden King's a kid that's not really like highly recruited right now, but he's 6'2", 290 from a small school. They're 4-0, by the way. They've got a big game against Prescott coming up Friday night. I want to say that's at Gurdon. I think the Go Devils. Yeah, I went to college at Henderson, right there by Gurdon. So the Gurdon Go Devils. But Braden King is a kid. He's just a great kid. He came to camp up here. And he's the kind of kid you pull for. Like I said, he's not a 4-star. He doesn't have $100 right now, but he's just somebody that you need to be watching. And he's going to get some offers eventually. I don't know if Arkansas will offer. Who knows? But he's the type kid that he works so hard. He's certainly worth mentioning on this show. And just keeping an eye on him. He's got talent. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting there acting like this is a donation to the show to talk about him. But this kid's got talent, and it's just that right now he doesn't have the offers, but they may come. But the biggest thing is he's playing well through 4 games. He plays both ways, and just hoping that Gurdon has a great season down there. And Braden is one of the reasons why. If they do, I know he will be.
Look, 2025, I've lost count, like you said, Otis. Is that ninth grade, or what grade is this?
Sophomore. It's a sophomore. We had Kane Archer on here. He's 2026. Okay. We had Kane Archer on here. I think you were on that day with me.
Oh, my goodness.
God,
I remember that day.
Yeah, we've had 2026. Like I said, man, I talked to a friend of mine, Earl Gill, in Texarkana the other day. He just had a baby boy. And I don't know what year that would be, but I said, I get the commitment story, Earl. And he said, you got it. So we're looking 17, 18 years down the road. So he may be 2040 or something. Like I said, I told you, if we keep talking, I'm going to get to 2040 today. I hope I'm alive by then. After what I've been through. I sure hope I'm alive by then, much less able to ride. But I just hope all I'm hoping for is to be alive at that point after what I've been through.
2040.
It's great to be back with you, CJ, man.
Yeah, really, man. It's great to be back with you, too. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Hey, can I say something real quick? Real quick.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank all the well-wishers, all the people that sent letters, or not letters, but messages, texts.
Right.
Saw me at the game yesterday at the Chamblies. Man, they stopped. I mean, Sherry and Jonathan Chambliss, those are great people. I just want to thank everybody. I couldn't respond to the messages.
Yeah.
One thing, I didn't even have a phone charger. I just want to thank everybody. Man, it humbles you when you see that many people out there care about me.
It does.
Nobody, they care about me and nobody. And it's really something to see that. Before I get to crying, I'm going to get off of here.